Okay, awesome. So I'm Jane. I am the program coordinator for the grocery recovery program at our food bank in Contra Costa and Solano counties. I work very closely with Karen and Lisa in the food recovery realm. So it's really nice to meet everyone. I'm sharing the presentation duties with Lisa today, so you'll hear from me and her as well.
Karen?
Hi, I'm Erin. I'm the agency relations manager for Contra Costa and Solano. So I work with all of our community partners here in those two counties.
I can go next. Okay. Hi, everyone. I am Karen Collins. I'm the food resource manager. I do a lot of work up in the 4-county North State area with our Feeding America grocery recovery partners. Thank you to the many, many faces that I have seen and gotten to work with at the various stores up north. I work on performance from the store side. So when Lisa's working with you on agency support, your pickups, reporting, challenges that you may report to her, they oftentimes come my way, and I work with the stores to see what we can do to make your experience better and meet their business needs. As well, I also work on general food sourcing. So if it's not grocery recovery, but there's a unique farmer, producer, manufacturer, distributor in your area, I look for food and I look to share it with all of you. So thank you for having me. Am I the last Contra Costa employee, I think? Did I get that, Lisa?
I think so. So I'll start with roll call, like I said, and I'm going to go alphabetical order and by counties. Is ARC here today? ARC of Butte County? Butte Community College.
Hi, we're here. Hi, Carrie from Butte College. Hi, Sue from Butte College.
All right, and now tell us what you enjoy doing, but society says you're too old for.
I like to buy plushie toys. She does. She does. I like to watch really bad reality TV. Shout out to Love is Blind, currently on Netflix. Everybody watches that.
Oh, thank you. Chat and Kathy.
Hi. Yeah, I'm Kathy Weeks. I work with Chico Housing Action Team. I'm a volunteer. All my staff that works with the food program at Chat is volunteer. And I do a couple things that people think I'm too old for. I still backpack. Not as often as I want to, but I still do backpack, and I also bartend. And I'm bartending tonight at a fundraiser in Chico. So I love it, even though I'm in my 70s. I still very much enjoy those two activities.
Thank you. Is Elijah House here?
Yes, ma'am.
Hi. So introduce yourself and tell us what you enjoy doing that's society says is too old.
So my name is Michael Henderson. I am the warehouse manager for the Elijah House. My wife refuses to take me shopping at Walmart or grocery stores because I like to ride in the carts and act goofy while we're out in public. So I embarrass her a lot, so she tries to leave me at home.
Thank you. First Baptist Church Paradise.
Hi, I'm Leslie Ward. I'm the manager at First Baptist Church Paradise Food Pantry. I usually try to stick to my age, but I do color my hair purple.
You. First Christian Church Paradise.
We go. Hi, I'm Nancy from First Christian Church Paradise Food Pantry. I I guess the question is, what do I do that I'm too old for? Is that was that? I like to game on the computer and cosplay conventions and stuff. Thanks.
I am's garden.
There you go. Okay. I'm Terry. I am's garden. Society says the music I like and how I like to dance. I'm too old for.
Thank you. Jordan Crossing.
Hi, I'm Kaylee from Jordan Crossing. I really enjoy playing Barbies with my daughter. I'm probably too old to be playing with Barbies, but I still do it.
I'm Ron Doherty, driver for the ministry, and I enjoy putting Legos together.
Thank you. Is Magalia Community Church here? Orville Hope Center.
Hello.
Hi. So introduce yourself and tell us what you are too old to do that society says you're too old to do.
Hi, I'm Caleb, and I like to play video games. Mary?
Hi, I'm Mary from the Orville Hope Center. I am the manager of guest services and still go to the trampoline park in Chico.
No. Orville, Christian, are you here? What is it? And then Orville Seventh-day Adventist Church. How about you? Salvation Army Chico. Salvation Army Orville.
Oh, sorry, Salvation Army Chico. My name is Ashley Mitchell. I'm the kitchen manager here, and the thing I like to do that society says I'm too old for is play video games and watch cartoons.
Vectors.
Okay. Lisa, when you get a chance, we're here at Miguel Community Church. I didn't have the sound on.
Okay. Thank you, Nancy.
Okay.
Is Vectors here? Wildcat Food Pantry.
Hello, my name is Louie. I'm the basic needs coordinator and I manage the pantry here at Chico State. Something people were telling me I'm too old for now is wearing Vans because my feet hurt, but I did that. I injured it playing a sport, not from wearing Vans. So I'm still like you're wearing them.
Nancy and Kathy, do you want us to tell us what you two are too old to be doing?
We just went on a women's retreat and we did zip lining and so I
Horseback riding.
And I do collect the little stuffed animal things too.
Thank you. And we got Wildcat Food Pantry. Is Youth with the Mission here? All right, we're moving on to Colusa County, Arbuckle Community Church. That would be you, Judy. I saw you somewhere. I'll get you on. Colusa?
This is Wally. I'm from Colusa Assembly of God. I'm too old to read young adult fantasy books.
We're going to move on to Glenn County now. Is Capay
Sorry,
here?
Laura, I was muted.
Is Capay here? Oh, hi, Judy.
I'm sorry, I was muted. I'm not a techie person. I did figure out the camera. I've been told I'm too old to play Barbies with my granddaughter, too old to wrestle with my son. I like to zip line.
Thank you.
I'm just told that I should be walking as many miles as I walk every day. And that's what keeps me young.
Real Life Church of Orland.
Yeah, Jason here. Are we there? Anyway, Jason here from Real Life Church. I haven't been told I'm too old yet, so that makes sense.
And Hope on the Hill, I see you're on. Do you want to check
Yeah,
in?
I was muted. I was like, I don't know why it's like red. I don't usually do Zooms, but Hope on the Hill, Nikki, Berry Creek. And actually nobody really tells me I'm too old to do anything but myself. So that's all. I don't get told that. I'm usually the younger one of the group of people usually, so.
Thank you. Is Willow's SDA Church here? All right, I'm moving on to Tehama County. We're almost done with our check-ins. Immaculate Conception. That would be you, Jack, right?
Yeah, Jack McGreevy. I'm 85, but too old to wear short pants. I got bony legs.
Thank you. Assembly in Corning. Do you want to check in and say, are you here?
Hi, it's Tony, New Life.
Hi.
Hello. When
Do
am
you
I
want
too
to-
old? Well,
Yes.
that's tough to say. I just push the limits and I ignore being too old.
Is Path here today?
We are here.
Okay. Will you tell us what society says you're too old to be doing?
Well, with me, I still like to make cardboard castles out of boxes.
Thank you.
And I guess for me, it would be starting a brand new career after doing something else for 33 years.
Salt Ranch. I saw Randy. Randy? Do you want to tell us what you're too old for? Is Randy here? Oh, Randy, you're on mute. I see you laughing and having a good time, but you're on mute. I'll tell him. Okay. Salvation Army, Red Bluff, are you here?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay.
So, nobody's told me I'm too old, although I just turned 70, but I really like to swing on a swing under a tree.
Thank you. Spirit of Life in Las Molinas. Tehama County Gleaners. I saw Dan on a second ago.
I saw Dan and Kim. They're both on there somewhere.
Yeah. Laura, do you want to go next and explain a little bit that you're the RDO for Glen Colusa, Tehama?
Yes, I'm Laura McLean. I am the RDO for Tehama, Colusa, and Glenn County. I'm the program manager for North Valley Community Food Bank. And I like to do anything that involves jumping off buildings, roller skating, or ice skating.
Nice. Bill from Orville STA, are you okay to check in and tell us what you're too old to be doing, if you can? Okay. All right, I'm feeling pretty good. Does anyone have any questions about roll call or our icebreaker before we move on with Jane and our presentation?
Lisa, this is Nick with Capay Assembly. I'm here too, by the way.
Okay, thank
And
you.
Fred with Lord Stable, I'm here too.
Okay, thank you. Okay.
And Terry Munn from Siskiyou County.
Harry? We have never been officially introduced, so I was, but we'll see you soon. Jane, are you ready to get started?
Yeah. Just a reminder, if everyone can put themselves on mute while we do the presentation, we are going to pause periodically for questions, and then you guys can come off mute and ask questions. So I'm going to share my screen, and then Lisa's going to start out the presentation. Okay. Can you see that, Lisa? Can you see my screen? Okay, awesome. All right. Okay. So we went ahead and did the icebreaker. So I'm going to skip this one. Okay. So just a quick breakdown of how the presentation is going to go. We're going to discuss SB 1383 very quickly, mostly what is it and how does it affect food recovery organizations. We're going to move on to what the requirements of SB 1383 are, and then we're going to touch on MealConnect. And like I said, we will stop for questions. So, just give us a couple minutes while we're done talking, and then you guys can jump in and ask whatever you need to ask. So I'll start with SB 1383. SB 1383 is a significant piece of legislation in California aimed at reducing the disposal of organic waste in landfills across the state. So organic waste includes paper, landscape waste, textiles, wood, and it also includes edible food. A big part of fulfilling the requirements of SB 1383 involves the recovery of edible food. So the bill dictates a few different things. Jurisdictions, meaning the counties and cities, must establish food recovery programs and strengthen existing organizations, such as us. Food recovery organizations must maintain record of pounds of recovered food. And food generators, which includes grocery stores, food distributors, wholesale vendors, must recover the maximum amount of edible food that would otherwise go to landfills. Does anyone have any questions about SB 1383 before we move on? Okay. So, like I said, a big part of SB 1383 is record keeping. That's a major aspect of the bill. That's kind of why you guys go into MealConnect, which we'll get to in a little bit. The law requires that mandated food generators maintain records of donation activities. So these are the record keeping laws for food generators. So that's the stores and the wholesale distributors, etc. So they are required to have a contract or written agreement with a food recovery organization, a collection schedule, and a quantity of pounds donated per month. So that's where MealConnect would come in. Now there's other aspects of record keeping for organizations like us and you all. Food recovery organizations are required to maintain records of the food that they receive from each mandated food donor.
Okay, thank you.
So food recovery organizations include food banks, pantries, soup kitchens, and other nonprofits that distribute food to people in need. All right. So with record keeping for organizations, that brings us over to MealConnect. So MealConnect was developed by Feeding America. It's a platform to connect food banks and donors and partner agencies. It's just a really streamlined way of getting everyone to enter their weights and make sure everything's getting logged and sent off to Feeding America or whoever needs it. Okay, so this is the life cycle of your receipts that get entered into MealConnect. So the agency or food bank enters weights into MealConnect. Those get fed to Feeding America, which supplies them to the food generators, and the food generators supply them to the jurisdictions as proof of compliance with SB 1383. Like I said, they are required to report pounds donated monthly. So they really rely on these reports to show that they have been following the law. Regular reporting in MealConnect guarantees that donors receive recorded proof of pounds donated and that agencies are meeting record keeping requirements as a food recovery organization. So it's kind of a, a relationship. It's not just you guys having to be compliant, it's the food generators as well. Lisa is going to kind of go over MealConnect and the reporting aspect, but I did just want to briefly talk about the dashboard on MealConnect. I don't know if you guys have had a chance to poke around on this, or if you just kind of like log in, put your receipts in, don't really look at it, totally fine. The things that are highlighted, create new receipt, view receipt, and pending receipts, those are all things that we're going to talk about today. I did also just want to show you, this is the top portion of the dashboard, but if you scroll down, you guys have access to your pounds picked up, and it shows you all your stats, like your total picked up pounds, how many stores you have, how many receipts you've entered. I just think it's fun to look at if you guys are ever curious about how much recovery you're really doing. I think the numbers would probably shock you. I know you do it every day and you probably have an idea, but I know coming into it, it was a big eye-opening experience to see everything that you guys have been doing. Okay, before we move on to Lisa, does anyone have any questions about anything that I've gone over?
We will also have time at the end, and then we'll stay a little bit behind our 1 hour mark if anyone's too shy to ask questions or feels like their question's silly. It'll just be the staff staying behind to answer any other questions you may have. Jane, will you do this one real quick?
Sure. Okay, so you guys have seen this. This is your add new receipt screen. I'm sure you have a lot of experience using this. You guys probably get it for the most part by now, but just a quick refresher, receipts are due within 7 days of pickup. You have 5 days to edit submitted receipts, which of course, this is with the exception of the last week of the month when the edit period is turned off. Really quickly, the reason we turn off the edit period is because we need to get those receipts fed into our database as fast as possible. And then the last one is all receipts for the month must be entered by the last day of the month. Now, this is probably the most important one because, like I said, the generators are providing monthly reports to show compliance with SB 1383. If you don't get your receipts in by the last day of the month, it's looking like they didn't donate a large sum of pounds for that month. And they're facing heavy fines, heavy penalties. So the more strict the bill gets as time goes on, the more strict this is going to get as well. So please just keep that in mind. And those are the reasons why we ask you guys to follow those compliance. All right.
Right. I am talking about the slides that you all hear from me the most. One would be when I get those little announcements saying, hey, nobody's been picking up at Dollar General for 3 weeks. And I say, what? And so then I look into MealConnect and I say, oh, they haven't been reporting. So if you ever, for any reason, are not picking up, or you go pick up and there's no pounds, or you couldn't get to the store because there was a flood or for any reason, you're not able to do your scheduled pickup, you still need to submit a no pounds receipt. And then next slide, please. So what that means is you're gonna still do what would have been your pickup date, scheduled pickup, not attempted or was attempted. You also need to report if you went there and there were no pounds for you to pick up. So no matter what it is for your scheduled pickup, you have to submit a receipt. Then if for some reason you're sick, I mean, you'll also see you do the scheduled pickup, then you can choose you were sick or the store was closed, the ceiling fell down and you couldn't get in. The donor didn't want you over there, or you can choose other and give us all kinds of reasons. This is also, like I said, usually I hear from Karen and well, she'll say something like, we're not seeing any receipts, what's going on? And then we can both go in there and go, oh, the ceiling is collapsed at Safeway. They're not able to get in there and that's what's going on. And sometimes the donors will call us directly or call Karen directly. So again, like what Jane was saying, this is how we know exactly what's going on. This is our ability to hopefully not call you and say, are you guys, and usually I'm pretty upset about it because donors are our major goal is to keep our donors happy. So if I am calling you and saying, are you still picking up at Rayleigh's? What's going on? If you're putting the no pounds in there, then I don't even have to call you because I can go in and see that you are picking up or you're not picking up because they don't want you there for whatever reasons. Okay, enough on that. And then the next slide. Well, any questions on that? I mean, it's pretty standard. If you're not picking up, you still need to report. Sometimes the holidays get a little funny, and Karen can answer on this a little bit better.
I have a question.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I'm connected. So on the last Friday of the month, when I don't normally pick up because Rancho Tehama Church is doing it on that day. I don't have to say I didn't pick up because of that.
No, and then that's where I was getting in with the holidays, and also Karen can help explain this better. But like if usually on the holidays we have substitutes, so generally the substitute is reporting for the store. And
right.
Karen, correct me if
if I could correct just a tad, all of you have a store in your account, if not more. And to the gentleman that spoke about switching off the Fridays, I think you do that at a couple stores in Red Bluff, right? My memory might halfway serve me. Yes. I would ask that you please submit a no pickup receipt into the system each week, because if you do not, it's creating flags that Lisa and I have to clear. So if you could please enter a no pickup and just say, there is a field in the window option to let you indicate why. After you indicate no pickup attempted, say not assigned day. I would greatly appreciate that. It is really important across the board. Even if Lisa knows that you have a sub for the holiday, or Lisa knows that your driver was sick and you guys didn't pick up, please enter that information into the system, because Lisa and I track a lot of information. And although we greatly appreciate the communication with emails and phone calls that you're dealing with something that is impacting your ability to pick up, getting it in the system helps us remember that if and when a store calls and says, why didn't the Food Bank of Contra Costa and Solano pick up yesterday? We get lots of inquiries, and I want to be able to tell them, oh, this is what happened. It's a one-off, whatever it may be. So please enter your no pickups or missed pickups.
Okay.
And that segues into the next slide, because what there is a lot of background, and there's a lot of things that Karen and I correct, and and Jane, there's a lot of things that we have to, exceptions that we have to clear, messages we have to clear. And that's only the beginning of it all. So when a meeting like this, we hope that it shares with you some of the background of everything that goes into MealConnect and SB 1383 and the compliance. So this slide, and again, like Karen said, it's great to get that email that says, hey, Lisa, I was sick and Fred put in our receipts for us. And when I got back to work, I didn't realize it. And so I submitted them again. And so now we've got double submissions in MealConnect. And believe it or not, Feeding America keeps track of all that, and it comes back to us, and then we have to fix it. So we love the emails telling us that you messed up but what this slide does is if you go back into previous receipts, before you even think that you may be something going on where you could be resubmitting a receipt, just go back into previous receipts because they're all right there. You can check them out. Make sure you're not. And again, this goes to all of the mandated and requirements and all of us having to fix the mistakes and errors and things that happen. Any questions on this one? And I would say I probably get an email once a month saying, hey, Lisa, I'm really sorry. I got it in by the end of the month, but both Fred and I submitted.
I have a question. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. There's still some on the list that in the list of receipts, some messages that say that I didn't submit. And back then, excuse me, back then there was times where I did submit actually several times and then noticed later that it didn't show and redid it again. Do I need to go back and try to figure any of that out? Or, I mean, it's like months ago now, but it still shows up there on that. Is that a problem?
That's a Karen question.
I'm sitting here shaking my head yes and no. What I would say for anyone, if you are checking your errors and you see that they are not incredibly recent, please do not enter anything. Check in with Lisa first if you need to. I cannot stress this enough. The amount of work it takes to correct these receipts really affects a lot more people than just Lisa, Jane, and I these days. Feeding America is very involved given the state of California requirements. And we really appreciate the effort you're making to do this. We know it's extra time and energy, but it's almost easier to check with Lisa first and then do it. I have found, just by a quick show of hands, wave your hand up if you are someone that enters receipts from your phone, not from a desktop. Many of you are in rural Northern California. Cell phones have intermittent reception.
That's my problem.
Yes, if you start to enter receipts on your phone, do not move an inch until you press that submission button. What we have found quite often is best effort is being made to receipt. You're doing it on your phone on the fly. You just finished weighing and reporting somewhere. Make sure that submission process happens before you start to walk away to get in the car. We all know I can go around the corner in the hallway of my house and lose reception. We know that can happen anywhere else. When that is happening, the process of submitting the receipts starts over, so to speak, and can cause duplication. Does that make sense?
What I do is I take and I'm putting it in my an entry on my calendar in my phone. Actually, I do that first now, and then if I have time, I put it on the MealConnect app thing. But I always check the next time I go, I check if it still shows for the last to make sure that it actually did. So I'm double checking myself and keeping it in my calendar too, so I can redo it if it didn't go. So I'm trying to do it.
Thank you. We appreciate hearing those checks and balances that people are doing. Just be mindful if you're going a week before you double check it, that you double check it before the last day of the month. I can't stress that.
Okay.
Has any other questions on double submissions? Has Jane left temporarily?
I see cello listed on.
Jane, we're ready to move on to the last slide if you're there. That's like,
I'm not seeing.
That's crazy. At least I got down here and got.
I'm gonna text her, Lisa.
Okay. Well, we're waiting for Jane to get to our last slide, and it is an important one. It's about reports.
They're doing a fire drill right now. She had to leave.
Life is fun.
Oh. So we don't just sit. So does anyone have me? So where we are waiting on finishing up at is does everyone know how to run reports? And
yes.
Okay, and then the reason why you really want them is mostly because for those of you that do grants, Jana is much better on talking about this. Grants, do we want to talk about SB 1383 and any questions about that? Because Karen will be our main person.
I missed that. I missed that first thing where you guys were saying about what would you do that people say that you're too old to do.
Yeah.
I want to jump out of an airplane.
Okay.
I heard one of you say that you jump off a building or something like that. That'd be cool too, but I think airplane's more fun. I don't know. I haven't done it yet, but it's on my bucket list. My daughter said that she'd have to like just watch me from the ground, but anyway, okay.
Does anyone have any SB 1383 questions? The one I personally thought was going to come up a lot is you pick up at a grocery store that's not part of Feeding America and you have nothing, you have no contract, they don't ask you for the poundage. Is there anything like that going on that anyone wants to talk about that Karen can address?
I can expand a little on that and share that this is a law that retailers and they call them food generators, food companies need to comply with. It is not necessarily a law that food recovery organizations, all of us, have to comply with unless you have signed it. If everyone can please mute, we're getting a lot of side noise. Thank you. It is not a law that we all necessarily have to comply with unless we have signed one of these necessary agreements. By law, these food generators need to proactively be working with any of the food recovery organizations that they are paired with to have an agreement on file. And especially if you partner with grocery outlets, Save More stores, other food related companies in your area for pickups, if they ask you for this documentation, it's really your regard if you'd like to sign it, but it will compromise your ability to continue picking up eventually. By law, these companies need to have these agreements in place and need to collect the poundage on the donations they're making best faith effort to share with your organization. What I'd like to encourage so that it's a yes opportunity for your organizations and an opportunity to continue to pick up the added donations that you may be accessing. We'd be happy to add non-Feeding America donors to MealConnect so that you have the ability to generate the reports that you are agreeing to provide to these donors if you sign these agreements. Have I lost anybody? Anyone have any questions on what I just shared?
I'm a little lost because, you know, I do pick up from grocery outlet and we don't weigh that donation. And I don't think that we have a written agreement with them. So is that something that I should get a written agreement with them or no? Okay.
It is their responsibility. They may eventually come to you and ask you to sign it. The law went into full effect January 1 of 2024. All cities and counties are actively inspecting these grocery stores for compliance. It will eventually reach the grocery outlet that you are picking up at, and eventually they will likely reach out to you and ask you to sign something. We have a great generic form that we really feel comfortable with promoting to each of you. If and when you get to that point that you are handed an agreement, I would highly recommend you review it. And I'm happy to look at it with you to make sure you're not signing to offer more than is really within your bandwidth. The generic form of the agreement that we have is a great count to them that I have found most retailers are willing to sign. It is not something you have to proactively work to implement. I would highly recommend you wait until these retailers come to you. And if and when that happens, you are essentially signing and saying, I will provide you a report monthly of all the pickups that I've done. And then you do need to be weighing and reporting it. And we would be happy to share MealConnect with you for that donor. We can add it to the system just like you're utilizing the system for your other Feeding America related donors. So just keep that in the back of your brain as a tool and an option, because the last thing we want is for you to sign the form and not know how to meet the requirements that you committed to and essentially lose the donor. We want you to be able to keep picking up at your other donor locations, and we want to help you with the tools to do that. Is that helpful, Leslie?
That was helpful. Yeah. So basically, I'll just wait for them to come to me. And then if they hand me a contract, I will call Lisa.
That's perfect.
All right, great.
Yeah. I will say it's coming. And one side to that is as these inspectors see Food Bank of Contra Costa listed on these agreements, your agency names listed, they do have the authority to set up an inspection with you. And they want to come and see that you're safely storing the food, how you're distributing it. Don't be afraid of this opportunity. It really is high level, want to stop and see what's going on. These jurisdictions want to learn what agencies need. They want to know what your capacity is, which I always have to laugh and think is such a loaded question. Because someone says, well, what's your capacity? And you're like, is it frozen or refrigerated or dry? Is it located in Timbuktu or is it around the corner? You know, there's so many pieces to this, but don't be afraid of that inspection request. And again, work with Lisa. If you've scheduled that, we can help you with some things to be ready for, but they want to know you're reporting, that you know how to use MealConnect. I'm working really, really hard to have regular engagement with all of the jurisdictions across Northern California to proactively let them know, like, hey guys, our teams have been doing this for a really long time. They know grocery recovery. They knew food safety. They are serving so many of our neighbors across Northern California. Like, we got this. If you want to help us, here's a list of things we need help with.
Jane, do you want to?
Oh, this is Tony with New Life.
Hi, Tony.
Hi, I have a question about during reporting. There's no place while reporting to put, well, one of our problems is like we will pick up and everything we pick up is not consumable. Like it's already beyond condition to be handed out. Um, and sometimes it might be milk that's already a day or two past, or it'll be produce that's just mush, which we have a farm that we give it to, but there's nowhere to report that. So we're weighing it as, you know, food that we're distributing to the public.
Why are you picking it up?
It's just mixed in. As by the end of us actually inspecting everything, we end up usually with close to
You see how much of it. Yeah. I'm going to talk high level on this one, and I really, really would ask that everyone please take this information with a grain of salt. And if you have significant situations similar to Tony, let's talk offline. But this law has a lot of complexity to it, and there are mandates on our side that we have to reduce waste as well, not just because of this one piece of the law, but we live in the state of California. They want to see us composting, recycling, and reducing waste, right? The one thing very near and dear to all food bankers' efforts with this law is that our agency partners and best faith effort to feed our neighbors does not increase trash and compost that we have to pay for. If you have the opportunity and bandwidth when you go to do your pickups to do some sorting on site and you find product that you don't need to take, it's open, leaky milk. It's clearly expired. It's clearly slimy, mushy, and gross. And you have the bandwidth to do that sorting. Talk to the receiver or the store person and say, hey, look, there's a few things here we can absolutely not take. Is there a place I can put this? Can I have an extra spare box? I'll put it in the box. Where would you like me to leave it? That is absolutely acceptable. What I would say is for your drivers and your other volunteer teams that are not on this call, please think through who the best person is at your organization to have that delicate conversation. It can work very effectively if it comes from the right person that can have that line of communication. And if you have a super grouchy, challenging store person and you're like, I'm not even going to touch that, but it's clearly a problem, reach out to Lisa. That's exactly what I'm here to help with. We are having conversations at district manager level, corporate level, educating folks that we value the effort in store that they're making to find product and make it donatable. It's a law. They can't sell it. So let's put the effort into it and get it to our neighbors that need it. We all know that there are a lot of people out there that need our help and need help filling their refrigerators with food to eat for the day. It's important that we recognize it because if you walk into a Dollar General or a Safeway these days, like it's slim staff. They're working hard just like we are, and donations unfortunately aren't at the top of the list. So when you have that conversation, keep that in mind and also talk with them about the fact, hey, we can't take your trash. This is trash. This is not, I can't share this with humans. But again, if that feels like too difficult of a scenario conversation to have, let us know. We're happy to help. The reporting is really valuable to us. You are our eyes and ears every single day if a donor is great and super supportive and aware, or if they could really stand to work on their corporate policy. So help us with sharing some of that information that we can't read on the reports. Does that sound fair, Tony?
Yeah. So would it be better for us to do our full sorting and then weighing so that we're excluding any of that? Because it could come up with us anywhere from 20 to 40 pounds at times.
It's very tricky. That's a very tricky answer. But what I will say is if you pick it up and take it, it is now a donation and it's our responsibility to report it. With that said, it is not your responsibility to take it and dump it. So I know I'm asking a very loaded question with sort on site, take more time in your day when you have a lot going on. So think that through and see, is 20 to 40 pounds that you're dumping worth the 300 pounds that you're picking up?
Right.
Yeah. Lisa, I saw your hand up. I'm sorry, I kept going.
But Tony asked the question, because I think what I hear a lot is, do we still report that 40 pounds as a donation and then throw it away? But some people want to throw it away and not include it in their weight.
You picked it up. You accepted the donation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't accept it. It's also a really great opportunity to educate store level staff, like what you're looking for and what quality needs to be, especially if you're at a location. I fully know that Dollar Generals are 2 to 3 days a week at most stores. So that product's going to turn fast. That's going to be tricky. But if you're going to a Costco, a Safeway, a Winco, a Food Max, those are really consistent pickups. The quality of the product should be nice for you to pick up. And if it's not, shoot us an email and tell us, please.
All right. Thank you.
Of course. I'm glad you asked.
One other thing I wanted to go over before we finish up with any more questions is on the agenda, I had put all the donation categories. Every once in a while we hear I picked up peanut butter, and because it's a protein, I put it under meat. I know that's kind of drastic example, but I want to make sure everyone is aware and feeling good about the donation categories, because again, it is important when Karen is communicating with the stores. Like, for instance, we know you could be donating meat, but you're not. Like, how can we help you get this as part of your donation program? So the categories are very important. One that we're seeing is that people might still be confused on is beverages. So we want to make sure beverages, and then that's why I included the daily weight form, is because it shows that it's sodas, waters, shelf-stable food or drinks, sports drinks. It's not milk or orange juice that you got in the deli section or the dairy section. So any questions on categories or something odd you pick up that you're not sure where to put it? You all have it. Good?
It'll be perfect reporting, right?
And if you're not using the daily weight form, especially for those of you that have pickup people different than the reporters, the daily weight form, and someone that I think it's Path. I think Path has a wonderful way that they keep track of their daily weight form, where it's very organized, and I think it was Path. I could be wrong, but I know some of you do really great at this. Questions? Right. Jane, do you have anything to add? We can spend the next 4 minutes or longer answering any other questions.
I have a comment, if that's okay. Lisa?
Yes, please.
Okay. I mentioned in my intro that I'm looking for food everywhere. You guys are the eyes and ears up in the North State when there's an opportunity that is not grocery retail related through Feeding America. If you are being approached by farmers with 10, 15 pallets of produce to donate, a unique frozen scenario that's much more product than you can accept, I would value the opportunity to be included in a conversation to help move that product to all of you. I can be a one-stop shop for a donor versus them calling New Hope, and New Hope says, well, I can take a pallet, you need to call Salvation Army, and then the donor is calling Salvation Army and waiting for a response, and they're able to take half a pallet, then they have to call PATH. I try to provide a concise opportunity that it's a yes, and we'll move the product. If you guys can't store it or take all of it, we'll send Contra Costa up to pick it up. We'll come back and store it, and we'll do the legwork to send it back out to you guys in distributions. If you come across scenarios with manufacturers and production companies that maybe are creating almond butter, it was a really great offer that came through our contact, I think, at Wildcat Food Pantry. It was 40 pallets of almond butter a few months ago. I think everyone got to see some of that. It needed some relabeling. And I think it's fair to say all of your organizations are small but mighty. And if you can't relabel the 40 pallets, let me know. We'll go and pick it up. We'll use manpower down in Fairfield to relabel it and get it back out to you guys. Just the opportunity to think bigger picture about how we can collaborate together and share our resources. Lisa knows how to find me if you get a crazy offer that you need some help with. I will certainly mind my own business where I'm supposed to, but I want all of you to feel good that if you share an opportunity, it's coming back your way. It's not staying in Concord. It's not coming down to Solano County. You're going to see it. And it's really important to me that you feel that transparency and know that we're working together.
Thank you. Thank you, Karen. Any other questions?
Yes, I think I got, this is Dan, Tama County Gleaners. I think I got my microphone working.
Yep. Did you want to tell us what you're too old for?
To drive or run a computer.
So everyone's feeling good. Anything else? Do you have, you're keeping your vehicles clean? Because I can tell you that the people in the stores are paying attention to your vehicles. They're paying attention to your pickup people. Bimbo is a classic example. They like to tell me everything that they don't like. Well, recently is there's a vehicle that is leaking that they want me to figure out what the problem is. So anything like that, come to us about or share with us. But again, all your donors are watching you and paying attention to what's
I
going
got
on.
a quick question, Lisa.
Okay.
It's on the report thing that you, with the lady went to the fire drill. What report are you talking about?
Jane, we never finished that up if you want to talk briefly about it.
Yeah, I'll just go over it really quick. So a feature that a lot of agencies don't know about is that you all can run reports of all the pickups that you've done. I think the most useful use for the reports, oh, here it is. Okay, so if you go to this tab reports here on the side, you can run a report of your donors. So this, like how much you've picked up at the stores that you're assigned to. I think it's just a really cool feature if you wanted to do like volunteer recognition and, you know, thank your volunteers that go to the stores and do the pickups for you. You know, you can, you know, I don't really know how many of you are like reaching out for outside grant opportunities, but there might be some food recovery grants that want to know, you know, how much food you've recovered in a certain span of time. Yeah, it's just, I just wanted to call attention to it because I think it has a lot of cool uses, and I think it's really awesome that you guys have access to that through MealConnect. So that's all I was going to talk about before I was interrupted by the fire drill that I didn't know was happening.
And then I have a written out Word document that I can share with you if you want more instructions on running the report. It's very simple. Once you do it once, yeah, it's pretty easy to do. Jack?
Related to the tar, we call it tar, stuff they give us. The governor is coming out with something about what is considered, usable, or, he's reframing the words for used by such and such a date, this type of thing. So is this going to make it simpler for us or the stores so that we don't get garbage, trash?
That's tough to answer.
Okay.
I don't know a lot about it right now. There's a lot of varied concern. If the regulations around best by, sell by, expire by change, my personal inclination is that it's going to offer retailers more time to sell the product, which means our donations may change. They may not. I have heard stories about when Expire By and Best Buy came out, that regulation in like what, the 60s and 70s. Up till then, there was no code on milk and meat, and folks bought it and went home and consumed it. Eating and cooking was really different then. Product was really different then. And I think that there was obviously concern when Best Buy and Expire By came into play. And now we're at a point that we're seeing a pivot again. So I'm giving you a very loose idea. I really don't know the answer. You're the third person that has brought it up. And I think we need to see what could and would happen. I anticipate many of the grocery store associations are going to be doing some pushback, but it's going to be wait and see. And I think just like that, SB 1383 could be a really great opportunity for what we are doing every day for our neighbors. It could be a real opportunity for stores to buy into the fact that they have product that should be going to our neighbors. They have product that is safe and healthy and in great condition. They need to invest in making it available. They need to invest in making sure their store staff are trained, that it's being made available to each of you in a safe and healthy way, cold when it needs to be cold, frozen when it needs to be frozen, all those important things. So I really do believe SB 1383 can work for us, but it's hard for people to change, right? Some of you were at Safeways before Safeway really formally came on board a year and a half ago. You got bread and that was it. And now you're seeing bread, bakery, deli, dry good, meat, produce. Maybe not every day, and that's okay, but you're seeing more of it. And I hope that that's what's going to happen as SB 1383 is more formally enforced. Does anyone else have opinions on the law that the gentleman was referencing?
Yes, I believe the law takes effect July 1st of 2026.
Yeah. So there's still a lot of time.
We want to be mindful of your time. We have been hanging out for about 65 minutes now. Does anyone have any other questions before we let you go? If anyone, again, wants to stay, Jane, Karen, and I probably will stay behind for a minute if anyone has questions that they were a little nervous about asking. Other than that, I will see all of you soon. Thank you for being here. I'm glad you got to meet some of our food bank, some of my colleagues. I talk about them a lot, but you don't know their faces. So Karen, I usually talk about the most. Erin and Jane, because we're all in the same program, I guess, what we do. Yeah. So it was good for them to see all of you as well. Right. I am done. If you want